kick this thing off with prayer, and we'll get started. Gracious and Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. Bless us and lead us and guide us. Father God, as we talk about sorrow, I just ask that you'll bless each and every one of these kids to have a forgiving heart and a loving heart, and as they see those people that are in need. Bless these things in Jesus' name. Amen. So, coping with sorrow. Anybody ever do that?
Cope with sorrow?
There you go. All right, what are some things that can make us sad? Somebody dies. Okay. What are some other things that can make us sad? Losing a football game.
Not winning the wrestling matches.
Not winning wrestling matches. Losing a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Oh, yeah. Man, when I was y'all's age, how many of you think all the girls flocked to go out with me? Anybody?
Oh, probably every single one of them.
You know what? Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what I'm finding out now that I'm 49 years old. All these girls that some of them I was too scared to ask because they were beautiful, they were gorgeous. All are telling me now, dude, I would have so went out with you. I'm going, are you kidding? Now, I would see girls, and I would go, man, I want to go out with her. And so I'd be out there plowing my field, working on the farm for my dad, and then I'd get up the courage when I got home, I'd call him. I'd say, you want to go out? No. Holy cow. You would think I was Robert Duvall getting my horse shot out from under me in Lonesome Dove. Remember that?
That's a good show.
Yeah, man. You think I got shot out of the saddle? And the thing was, I'd feel bad, and it was just like you hear a lever action rifle. I could hear it sliding back. I hear that shell go in there, and the second they said no, whack. It's like, oh man, it hit me in the heart.
You gotta smooth talk the way in there. You can't just like.
Oh, but see, hey, when I was in 8th grade, I wasn't Mr. Smooth Talking guy. Who knew?
When I was in third grade, I was smooth talking.
You're a lot smoother in 3rd grade. Some of us may be, some may not. But then I started to be, well, there were 2 or 3 things that happened to me. I went to Clint Eastwood there for a while, and anybody that's ever watched Clint Eastwood, you know that at some point during the movie he's going to slide a stove top in there under his poncho so they can't shoot him.
That's pretty awesome.
Pretty good thinking, isn't it? So I'm giving this like this steel wall. Man, instead, once they reject me, man, I'm still getting slammed, but it don't hurt near as bad. It's like a bulletproof vest. I kind of went bulletproof. Kind of like the difference when you're riding Bull's Coat from not having on your vest and then having on your vest. I went bulletproof. Does it always work? No, but it helps. You know why you got it there. Then I went Michael J. Fox. And how many of us have seen Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future?
Oh,
He goes in the bar and he's like, what kind of a cowboy are you? And he goes, my name's Clint Eastwood. And they go,
don't know.
that ain't no cowboy name. Now, remember, he's seen Clint Eastwood and he's seen how cool he is. None of these guys are from the old days. They never heard of Clint Eastwood and how cool he is. Well, Michael J. Fox built a brick wall around his heart. He built like a fort around his heart. He wouldn't let anybody else in so they could hurt him, so he feels sad. And I went through that adventure. Then, when I got bigger, when I got older, I got tougher, I got into the John Wayne. It's me and Chin Lee and General Sterling Price the cat. Now, I had the yellow cat and all. Big yellow tongue cat, just like it's on True Grit. And he had a disease and he sneezed. And if somebody ever came in my house and they said, I don't like cats, what do you think happened?
You sneeze.
He sneezed on them. He'd go sit in your lap and sneeze on you. And I mean, this cat, when he sneezed, you'd think he hopped the biggest loogie in the world. And I've had guys go, I'm gonna kill that cat. You're not gonna kill my cat. That's the only person that really loves me. You can't kill my cat. And I had cow dogs, they like it. Because I never was lenient on the feed, you know. So they love me. But another part of sorrow that comes to us, aside from losing boyfriends or girlfriends, is death. And I wish I could say in every situation, hey Cody, I know how you feel. When Grandma passed away, my grandmother had passed away too. I wish I could have said, man, dude, I know how you feel, but I don't. Everybody's situation is different. For husbands and wives, you don't know what the last thing they said to one another was. Some of them get really sad because I forgot to tell him I loved him. I didn't tell her I loved her. I went to sleep mad. Now, Danny and I have a kind of a rule. Even if we get aggravated at one another, we don't go to bed mad at each other. Now, sometimes she'll come in there and she'll talk to me till I'm so tired I fall asleep. But we don't go to bed mad at each other because we don't want that to happen. There are some days, and I'll think about it, and I'll go, hey, I hadn't called you yet to tell you that I love you. Now, that's something that no one can weigh in any situation, whether it's your friend. I'm sure you probably had some times, Zach, that you were mad at Gary. You think of it, there's probably several times you were mad at him. If you could go back again, now that he's passed away, you probably wouldn't have done those things or wouldn't have said anything to make him mad, would you? Or you wish you could take that back. And once they're gone, man, that sorrow is in your heart. And I was going to talk about, and Jesus suddenly changed it right in front of me. I was going to talk about raising from the dead. And I knew exactly 4 different places in the Bible where God said it. But sometimes part of our sorrow is because we should ask forgiveness from that person or wish they to ask us for forgiveness. Man, that hurts. Now, y'all know the story, a lot of you, the story of my dad. You several times I went into that story. But I'll never forget my friend Norman that helped me get saved. Say, well, what if your dad died? I hadn't seen him in a long time and wasn't able to ask him for forgiveness. That was a crazy feeling. Now, and I want to pick on Brody for a second. Brody, have you ever been real mad at Stephen? So mad you just you walked off, you were disgusted, you were hurt. It wasn't your fault, his fault, anybody's fault. You walked away mad. Now, later on, were you sad about it? Sometimes. And it doesn't make any difference whose fault it is. Anything can happen. And tonight, my hope is that you guys, no matter what you've done in your life, no matter what your parents have done, no matter what your friends have done, that you'll tell them that you're sorry. If I've ever upset you, if I've ever hurt you, I'm sorry. Because I don't want you to have to live with this sorrow. I have a friend that lost a parent last week. Left a wife and 4 small children. Another loss this week. One of Cody and I's friends. And how do you cope with it? I wish there was an easy book that I could say, hey, here's what you guys need to do. But the best thing you can do when somebody's sad is just listen. Just listen to them. I wish I had the right thing to say to Jennifer. It would have changed everything. What do you say? You know, I've been on the train where I had to go up on the porch and say, hey, your son or your daughter's not coming back. Guys, I'd rather get run over by a Peterbilt in the middle of this street than have to do that. That is tough work. That is bad. That is a hard thing to do. And you want to think that it's comforting to say that, well, at least he knew Jesus, made it to heaven. That is some comfort, but when your loved one is gone, it don't make any difference. Boyfriend, girlfriend, school friend, mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, they ain't coming back. I wish we could bring it back. I wish I could find some real cool cowboy way to say, hey, it'll be okay. And just throw my leg up over a horse and get them horse back again. And just, some people continue to grieve until they're gone. They miss that loved one. My grandmother was that way. I've got a friend, Melanie, that grieves every day. I got a friend, Vicky, that grieves every day. My grandma doesn't fit in either one of the places that Melanie or Vicky are at. Her son was killed in an unsolved homicide. 3 days short of a year later, my grandfather did commit suicide because he couldn't take not knowing. He could not live with it. And she blamed herself the rest of her life. Man, that happened in 1976 or 77, and she passed away in 2006. Wow, and she grieved all of that time. I would go up there after it happened and stay with her at night, and she was so sad, sometimes so sad she wouldn't even eat. I'd want to think good thoughts, and I'd get sad too. Before I knew it, I was just as sad as she was. But you gotta be there to hug them around the neck and tell them you love them, tell them you care about them. You'd love to say everything's gonna be all right, but heck, at those times you don't know. You just don't know. And so for sorrow, just be a listener. You may not have any clue what they're talking about. May sound like they're talking in Chinese to you, even though they're speaking English. You just listen and pray about it. Tell them you love them. And that helped my grandma a lot, just telling her that I loved her, telling her I cared about her. And I know one day, and I can't imagine how it broke her heart, but I said, at least I'm still here. Wow. That had to hurt. I wish it was as easy as picking up a magazine and reading in it. But a couple weeks ago, I read an article about people that are feeling desperate and despondent. And one of the things it said is the worst thing you can tell them is, I know how you feel. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because I've had times in my life when the world had rocked me and I was sad. And I mean, it just felt like somebody raised the bed up on a Peterbilt dump truck and dumped rocks on me. I felt like I was that little lady that was about to get stoned to death in the Bible that Jesus talked to. But the one thing we got to remember is coping with sorrow ain't easy. It's never going to be easy. Zach, you know, I've got a friend, I'm not naming any names, that knows about 4 or 5 people at schools within a 50-mile radius that has lost friends at 4 or 5 different schools. Holy cow. She's either in your grade or maybe a grade ahead of you in school. How do you... But yet, and this is part of the reason that I'm always responding to people on Facebook, always talking to you guys on there, making jokes. If I see something funny, I want to bring it up because I don't want people to live in a world full of sorrow. I wish that everybody's life was as happy as what it is when you're sitting there watching Jeff Dunham and his little puppets. I wish we could all laugh and live like that every day. And for as funny as Jeff is, y'all think he's probably got the greatest life in the world?
Nobody has the greatest life in the world. Everyone's got some type of problem.
There you go.
The greatest life in the world would be happy.
There you go. You think he's happy, Brittany?
Probably for making other people happy, but probably sometimes not that much.
Okay. Anybody else think he ought to be the happiest guy in the universe? He's went through a lot of heartbreak. He finally, at the age of 40, found the woman that he was going to marry, adopted her child, and then they had 2 more girls. And now he's divorced. Then he's divorced. Divorced for several years and finally remarries again. So he went through some hard stuff, went through some sorrow. Y'all see some of the pain that maybe he went through in his life etched on the face of those puppets? see some of that? It's there. And anybody that's been through divorce, if they tell you, man, I know what you're going through, no, you don't. You don't have to live with that other person. I know I've got friends that are young men, friends that are young women, and when they make the mistake that costs them a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, it tears them in two. You couldn't split them into any better if you were that karate guy and karate chop through a block of ice. Man, they're just broke up about it. And I never really thought about, and I had a pastor the other day tell me, yeah, you could have had the same situation happen to you. And he's right. You may have a little bit of insight into what they're going through, but you just can't feel it. Now, I think about (9/11), and I think about, I won't call this guy my enemy, he was just a guy that I did not like, that said a lot of dumb things on radio. And I'll never forget hearing him say on KXY, well, you gotta be kidding. That one just crashed into one building, they're gonna crash it into another one. Inside that second one was a man talking to his wife. And the last thing he said to her before he lost his phone was, I love you. Wow. Every time, and this may sound crazy to you guys, but this is something that Michael and I always do when we talk on the phone. Every time we hang up, I always tell Mike that I love him. Bartell. Always. We never hang up the phone. Some of the other guys, when you call me, I'll try to end the conversation with, I love you. Because I want you guys to know that I love you and care about you. I want you guys to realize that by saying I love you, that might be the first good thing somebody's heard all day. That might be the first happy thing that's happened to them. I was late getting here today. And I could have been real upset about it. Because I get in line to check out, I find the quickest line there is in Walmart so I can hurry, rush over here, so I can be here when everybody gets here. And guess what? The lights flicker, the power goes off, and the registers all go down. Now, here's this, oh man. And all the people that were in line, I knew some of them were former students that I'd had. And I could hear what the lady was saying, and they couldn't hear it. Earlier in the day, here in Guthrie, a transformer went off. The transformer that went off caused a malfunction in their backup power. So when it went off, everything has to reset. Do you get mad when your computer goes off, tell you you have to reset it?
I just use my phone.
Huh?
I just use my phone.
Go to my phone. Right? That make you mad?
Yeah.
Who gets mad about when that happens? Power flicks, everything goes off. I get really upset if I lose a lot of information. I'm working on a case the other day at work with about a $10 million payroll. I'm entering all this information. I had Then I send it off to my company to get a quote for it. Guess what happens? Because it kept flickering off and on, a couple of the attachments that I put in there didn't go. I go back in there and redo it. But it's okay. If that's the worst thing that happens to me, it's okay. It makes me angry for a second. Hey, what else would I be doing? If I wouldn't, it wouldn't need me for work if I couldn't do that, would they? Wouldn't have a job. So, we don't know what's building up on people. We don't know how their day went at work. You may have one of them days where every customer came in and every single thing was wrong. I'll never forget after working in the boot store for about 3 months. I walk in one day and my boss says, "You are promoted." And I'm like, "Wow, thanks." And what's that mean? He's like, "Well, this week